Apart from being the commercial headquarters of Nigeria, where a large chunk of the country's maritime trade is carried out, Lagos was for a long time the capital city of Nigeria. These roles naturally shot Lagos into national and international prominence. Reliable demographic projections indicate that Lagos will become a megacity in the not-too-distant future. The rate of migration of various classes of people into Lagos from different parts of the world further attests to the fact that Lagos offers a lot of opportunities to all spheres of people. Lagos plays a significant part in the social, economic, and political development of the country. It goes without saying, therefore, that anybody who has a good fortune of becoming the monarch of a city as cosmopolitan and influential as Lagos will be strategically positioned to have important connections in the right places and enjoy a lot of goodwill. This was practically demonstrated in Lagos on Sunday the 6th of August 2006 when the monarch and traditional ruler of Lagos, His Royal Majesty Oba Rilwan Babatunde Aremu Akiolu I, gave out his precious daughter Mulikat Abiola Adebusola in marriage to Mohammed Abiola Oladimiji Olorunimbe. His Royal Majesty Oba Rilwan Akiolu I, before ascending the throne as the Oba of Lagos 3 years ago, had a meritorious service in the Nigerian Police Force which spanned about 3 decades. He retired as an Inspector General of Police. He was also at the prestigious National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru in Plateau State, to sharpen his leadership skills and broaden his horizon about life. It was indeed a bountiful harvest of goodwill for Oba Rilwan Akiolu I, as the high and the mighty honored him with their esteemed presence at the wedding of his daughter. The Lagos Central Mosque in the Idumota area, where the Nikah ceremony took place, played host to what could be described as about the largest number of people to worship in the sanctuary in recent times. The list of guests included Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Governors Bola Tinubu of Lagos State and Boni Haruna of Adamawa State, past and present public office holders, leading lights in the business community, chief executives of corporate concerns. The royalty from the southwest Edo State and other parts of the country registered a solid presence at the Akiolu and Olorunimbe wedding. As the bride was led into the mosque, she was welcomed with what in the Muslim world is called the glorification of Allah. Since it was a Muslim marriage, all the tenets of such functions were strictly adhered to, like the recitation of the Holy Quran, which was followed by the preaching of the sermon. The high point of the Nikah ceremony was the solemnization of the marriage according to Muslim injunctions. The officiating imam presented a short address on the importance of marriage. The couple and their parents signed the marriage register in the presence of a couple of witnesses. Another important aspect of the Nikah ceremony was the utbah and the presentation of the marriage certificate to the couple, and that signaled the end of the Nikah ceremony. Iga Edugon, the palace of the Oba of Lagos, which was the venue for the reception, played host to a very huge assemblage of the who is who in Nigeria's social, political, and economic landscape. The reception witnessed the presence of more prominent faces, especially those who couldn't attend the Nikah ceremony. It is pertinent to note that Iga Edugon had a graceful ambience, as the entire environment was wearing a new coat of paint. In fact, a close look at the palace will show that it is more spacious than previously believed. Perhaps the occasion of the marriage of Oba Rilwan Akiolu's daughter really brought out the beauty and expansive nature of the palace. Colorfully designed canopies were all over the place, occupied by the different guests according to their relationships with both sides of the parties. As to be expected in the marriage of the daughter of a notable traditional ruler like Oba Rilwan Akiolu I, whose love for culture, tradition, and dancing is legendary, there's a lot of drumming and dancing in the air. However, officially the Nigerian Police Band and King Wasiu Ayinde K1 the Ultimate were engaged to perform at the reception. The arrival of the bride and groom, accompanied by the bridal train as well as groomsmen and the bridesmaid into the arena, was greeted with a lot of pomp and pageantry. The couple didn't disappoint the audience at all, as it got really down to dig it to the music of the Nigerian Police Band, which welcomed them to the event. Once the couple had settled down, it was time for the opening remarks by the chairman of the event, the monarch and traditional ruler of Ijebuland, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetona, who was accompanied to the event by hordes of other traditional rulers from Ogun State and frontline chiefs like the Ogbeni Oja of Ijebuland, Chief Bayo Kuku. In his opening remarks, Oba Sikiru Adetona, the Awujale of Ijebuland, congratulated his brother Oba Akiolu of Lagos, for being granted the grace by the Almighty Allah to witness the marriage of his daughter in good health and in the presence of the cream of the Nigerian society. He extolled the virtues of the leadership of Oba Rewa Akiolu in Lagos, which according to him has been characterized by a lot of achievements in the past 3 years on the throne. Turning to the newly wedded couple, he admonished them to emulate the good qualities of their parents so that they could have a good story to tell of their marriage. One aspect of the reception that stood out distinctly in all ramifications was the cutting of the wedding cake. The couple had the most uncommon and rare luck and fortune of being flanked on both sides by two prominent traditional rulers, the Oba of Lagos, the father of the bride, and the Awujale of Ijebuland, the chairman of the occasion, while Governor Bola Tinubu was also around to give the needed gubernatorial support to the couple. The cutting of the wedding cake was masterfully handled by perhaps the best hand for the job in these parts, Chief Molade Okoya Thomas, whose chieftaincy title as the Ashoju Oba of Lagos, or image maker to the Oba, really puts him in the best stead to perform such functions. With the infusion of a lot of anecdotes and high-level humor, Chief Molade Okoya Thomas raised the level of the cake cutting exercise from the ordinary to extraordinary. The cake cutting exercise was quickly followed by a photograph and video session. This involved the couple. This they took in turns with their parents, other guests, relatives, friends, admirers, and all.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
The couple were asked to demonstrate their love for each other through the kissing game, which saw them sticking to each other's lips for a prolonged kissing bout, and the audience enjoyed every bit of it. After this, it was dancing time for the couple, and in the very presence of the Oba of Lagos, father of the bride, the groom, Mohammed Abiola Olorunimbe, who is a 1999 graduate of engineering of the University of Lagos, presently residing in London, where he says he watches the BC Olatile show faithfully and religiously every Sundays, held on tightly to the bride, Princess Molikat Abiola Adebusola, an employee with V-Mobile. The couple had a good time with each other. In his response, the groom, Mohammed Mustafa Oladimeji Olorunimbe, was full of thanks to his father-in-law for helping to make the marriage a success. He thanked others who contributed to the success of the marriage in no small measure. Finally, the couple took to the dancing floor for the real bridal dance, and this time around, it was King of Fuji, Wasiyohide Marshal K1 the Ultimate in charge. The signature of all eyes on the floor was Oba Rewa Akiolu I, who really went down to dig into the exciting Fuji music of K1 the Ultimate. Governor Bola Tinubu and other dignitaries also supported the royal monarch. The BC Olatile show had the exclusive privilege to witness the very emotional aspect of the wedding, which took place in the inner court of the Oba of Lagos's palace. This is where real meaning was given to the word Igbeyawo in Yoruba, which means marriage. Here, special prayers were offered for the bride for the success of the marriage. This aspect was witnessed by the 4 wives of Oba of Lagos, including the mother of the bride. Also in attendance was the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Chief Femi Pedro, the Alaki of Igbaland, Oba Agbadebo, and some of his chiefs. The Ondo State Governor, Dr. Olusegun Agagu, Chief Molade Okora Thomas, Chief Olopade, President Obasanjo's very close friend, who celebrated his 80th birthday ceremony recently. It was prayers galore for the bride, Princess Monikat Abiola Adebusola, from all the Oloris, her uncles, aunties, and other relatives, some Lagos chiefs, and the wife of the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Justice Olajumoke Pedro, who had the final prayers for the bride. It was tears of joy all the way for the bride, whom we gather is the apple of her father's eyes. In fact, while praying for her, Oba Akiolu, who described Princess Monikat Abiola, his daughter, as the best child any parent can wish for, narrated an experience that happened some time ago in London, which put the bride's trust and integrity to the test. It had to do with a large amount of money put in her care. She came out of the incident with her integrity intact. Oba Rilwan Akiolu advised his daughter to remember that her mother was an epitome of peace and respect, and advised her to do likewise in her own home. After all the prayers, Princess Monikat Abiola Adebusola left her father's house to begin a new life with her husband. Female members of the groom's family were on hand to lead her to her